former champion versus current champion to decide who is numero uno on these shores. Now, before they throw hands May 9th and duke it out, they're going to duke it out verbally here. Clock in, everyone.
There's a lot of being talked about right now, but I can't wait to put him to sleep on.
Been on your mind for the past how long, and now you're talking to me like that. It's just
yeah.
like that.
Is this fight going to go into deep waters? What do we think?
Nah, first half done.
Absolute shocking scenes unfolded as Daniel Dubois suddenly attacked Fabio Wardley during the press conference, and within seconds the entire situation spiraled completely out of control. What was supposed to be a tense but controlled face-off instantly turned physical, emotional, and deeply personal. Security rushed in as both camps reacted to the chaos, while fans and media were left stunned watching the heavyweight rivals lose control on stage. The energy completely changed in that moment. It no longer felt like normal fight promotion or typical trash talk.
You're bleeding.
I don't know if I particularly learned anything. There wasn't nothing I didn't know already that I hadn't seen already in other situations and other circumstances that it's a bit jittery. When the cameras are on, when it's a big stage, when it's a big event, people's personality shows through, and nervous demeanor, nervous, jittery, on edge, twitchy. But they're all things that we'd already seen, already assessed already. So it wasn't particularly nothing new, things I'd already seen, but it was funny to see up close, that was all.
Meanwhile, Fabio Wardley opened up about the situation and made it crystal clear that this was not simply about fight hype or verbal exchanges. According to Wardley, the issue was about respect being crossed. He explained that he has absolutely no problem with opponents talking aggressively before fights because that has always been part of boxing. However, he believes Daniel Dubois stepped completely over the line once things became physical. Wardley sounded calm and composed while speaking publicly, but underneath that calmness there was obvious frustration and anger.
Look, I'm a stand-up person. I respect those that respect me and that show me respect and behave respectfully. From the interactions I've had with him on a number of occasions, it's not been that. So I don't mind a bit of back and forth, a bit of boxing. Like, the game's the game. I'm not fussed by that. It is what it is. But ultimately, there needs to be a level of respect there, and hold yourself properly, act properly in the right situations, and those things haven't been done. So no, there's not.
Meanwhile, trainer Don Charles responded to the controversy and attempted to shut everything down by describing the entire situation as just words and emotions getting out of hand. He strongly backed Daniel Dubois and tried redirecting attention back toward fight night rather than the press conference chaos. But despite those efforts, the reality is that the silence around the incident felt forced. The pressure surrounding Dubois appears to be building rapidly, and moments like the shove only create more questions about how he handles tense situations emotionally. Fabio Wardley has clearly gotten under their skin already, and many fans watching felt that Dubois reacting physically made him appear emotionally rattled rather than dangerous.
Said to all that, talk is cheap. I normally got a lot to say, but you know what? I choose to be silent today. I want to talk about today and what's going to happen on the 9th of May, and that's all. Talk is cheap. Daniel doesn't have to prove nothing. He's only ever lost to one man. Twice. Usyk.
Here, Daniel Dubois came out sounding extremely confident and promised to take away Fabio Wardley's unbeaten record. Dubois sounded aggressive, motivated, and fully prepared for battle. However, there was also a feeling that he was trying to convince himself after everything that had already happened earlier at the press conference. Wardley has repeatedly shown throughout his career that he can survive pressure, chaos, and emotionally intense situations without losing focus mentally. Meanwhile, Dubois reacting physically beforehand has only increased doubts about his composure once tensions rise.
Full of confidence for this one. Full of confidence, raring to go. And I've got to take his L. I'm going to be the first man to do it. And, I'm just Can't wait.
Fabio Wardley responded with complete confidence and absolutely no hesitation whatsoever. He was not simply predicting victory. He confidently called for a knockout as though the result was already written before the opening bell even rings. That kind of belief only comes from experience, self-trust, and repeatedly performing under intense pressure. While Daniel Dubois continued speaking about taking records and proving statements, Wardley was speaking about ending the fight completely.
As the fight go, well, I think it's obvious to see that I'll knock him out. Like that's easiest to say. That's known. It's just whether I want to do it early or I want to do it.
Now Solomon Dubois stepped forward to support his brother and showed complete belief that Daniel Dubois will score a knockout victory. That type of loyalty is expected from family, especially before such a massive heavyweight showdown. But family support alone cannot erase the questions people already have after witnessing the press conference chaos. The pressure surrounding Dubois is massive, and heavyweight boxing becomes even more dangerous once emotions begin taking over. Fabio Wardley has already proven several times that he can survive messy situations and still deliver devastating performances.
I look up to him a lot. I'm very proud of him, all the things he's achieved in life, and I think my brother will win, obviously. I think he'll win by knockout.
Fabio Wardley laid everything out clearly and reminded everyone exactly what he brings into the ring. He was not speaking for attention or trying to create fake hype. He warned everyone that one single moment is all it takes for him to completely change a fight. That knockout power is real, and fans have already watched it flip fights entirely in his favor before. What makes Wardley especially dangerous is the way he combines calmness with explosiveness. He sounds relaxed, controlled, and composed while also sounding incredibly dangerous at the exact same time. Daniel Dubois may be physically strong, but Wardley thrives once fights become chaotic and emotionally intense.
There's not much to say that hasn't already been said. And I guess on that point, the main thing to say is don't blink. It's because, look, my fans, my supporters, everyone here at Ipswich, especially here at this ground, the fight I had here was probably synonymous with that of don't blink, because all in a second, the fight with Justice Hooney was upside down, it was on its head.
He did land with a shot at the end of the first round, but since then he's not managed.
He's just come up against a good fighter, that's all that's happened.
So many hovering around, waiting for a shot. Usyk and Dubois meet, Joseph Parker, Ajit Kabayel. There's all sorts of heavyweight. Oh! What about that from Fabio Wardley? And it just takes one shot. That is unbelievable. Fabio Wardley losing virtually every single round, and he fights a jackhammer. Oh my word!
And again, for the Daniel fight, I think it's going to be a very similar moment in terms of just one punch knockout, him down, him out. If you blink, you would have missed it.
Daniel Dubois reflected emotionally on his boxing journey and gave huge credit to his father for shaping him into the fighter he has become today. It showed a more personal and emotional side of Dubois while also highlighting the foundation behind his career. But in massive heavyweight fights like this, emotion alone is never enough to guarantee success. Fabio Wardley brings relentless pressure and real knockout danger every single second of the fight. Dubois has already experienced moments during his career where fans and analysts questioned his mentality under pressure. That is why this matchup feels so important.
I think when I've lived the life, so I guess I wouldn't be here without it. I wouldn't be here without, the dedication and the fire my dad has, and what he put into me. I'm glad I was the first male-born boxer and come out and went through that whole program.
Spencer Oliver pointed directly toward the biggest concern surrounding Daniel Dubois, and that concern is his mindset. Physically, there is absolutely no doubt that Dubois is dangerous, explosive, and capable of hurting anyone in the heavyweight division. But mentally, he has already been tested during difficult moments before. That is exactly why this fight becomes so fascinating. Fabio Wardley has repeatedly shown that he can go through adversity, survive difficult rounds, and still come out victorious. If Dubois is not completely focused mentally, Wardley is exactly the type of fighter who will expose those weaknesses immediately.
Mindset, Dom recognises that it's not about the physicalities of Daniel Dubois, never has been. You know, he's a big, strong guy, and like, if you get his mind right and he's that self-belief there, and that's what Dom will be working on with him. No.
Carl Fruck raised serious concerns about Daniel Dubois and questioned what happens inside his mind once fights become extremely difficult. That has always been one of the biggest concerns surrounding Dubois despite his obvious punching power and physical ability. Fruck acknowledged that Dubois absolutely has the power to hurt opponents badly, but he still believes the mental side of his game remains uncertain. At the same time, Fruck also questioned the level of opposition Fabio Wardley has faced. However, Wardley has consistently found ways to survive, win, and produce dramatic finishes regardless of the circumstances. Punching power is dangerous, but belief, resilience, and composure become even more important once a fighter enters a crisis moment during a fight.
I wonder, when it comes on top for him, Daniel Dubois, what's up there and does he want it? That's the only real question mark I've got over his career. Obviously, losing to Usyk's no disgrace, but he's a massive puncher, big, hard hitter. And Fabio Wardley has never really been in there. You've got Justice Hooney, you've got Joseph Parker, you've got Fraser Clark. None of them are really bangers, are they? None of them can really punch hard for heavyweight. I'm sure if they hit you on the chin, it'd hurt. But somebody like me who's got a granite chin.
Ade Oladipo gave a balanced analysis of the matchup but still leaned toward Fabio Wardley because of his frightening knockout power. He admitted that Wardley has absorbed punishment in previous fights, but somehow still finds devastating ways to completely change fights around. That unpredictability is exactly what makes Wardley so dangerous. Daniel Dubois may have enough power to hurt him badly early in the fight, but if he fails to finish the job quickly, Wardley becomes even more dangerous as the rounds continue. This matchup feels like a true battle between raw power and pure resilience. Wardley's ability to survive difficult moments and fire back with fight-ending shots could become the deciding factor once the pressure rises.
Christ, man. That's just sensational. Honestly, that is just brutality at its best. I have picked against Fabio 2 or 3 times. I will never pick against him again. That being said, I picked against Dubois a couple of times. I think it's 50-50, and this isn't fencing because I 51-49 Fabio. Fabio can crack, unlike any heavyweight I think right now in the division, but he takes a lot of punishment. Like, we've seen it, and I don't think you can take that type of punishment early from Dubois. But it's a tremendous fight. And look, if it does happen, credit to both. Credit to Dubois. To do Usyk, Miller, Hrgovic, AJ, Usyk, Wardley is better than any run minus Usyk in the heavyweight division. And, by the way, Parker was supposed to be squeezed in there.
Duke McKenzie highlighted something extremely important, and that is the evolution of Fabio Wardley since becoming champion. That extra confidence, composure, and sharpness can completely change a fight of this magnitude. Wardley is no longer relying purely on aggression and knockout power. He is slowly developing into a more complete heavyweight fighter who can adapt, think clearly under pressure, and solve problems during fights. Beating Joseph Parker the way he did proved he can survive difficult moments and still emerge victorious. Daniel Dubois having a strong jab is definitely an important factor, but Wardley's ability to adjust during fights gives him a major advantage. If this turns into a technical boxing match, Wardley is clearly improving in that area.
Fabio Wardley's a world champion now in his own right. And that 5% I'm just talked to you about, he's 5% better now than what he was before he won the title, because that's what it gives you when you win a world title. Now, he's just beaten Joseph Parker, right? And messed him up quite badly. It wasn't an easy fight. It ebbed and flowed for periods in that fight, but ultimately, Wardley got the job done. That's what he does. He gets the job done. Look at his career. Now, he would have improved, and a lot is to be said of Daniel Dubois because he's got an excellent jab. That was the difference between him and AJ when they fought, was that jab. It was just beautiful. Wardley's got a good jab, and if Wardley's jab has improved since winning that title, then...
Ade Oladipo once again delivered a balanced opinion but still leaned toward Fabio Wardley because of his terrifying knockout ability. He admitted Wardley has gone through difficult moments and absorbed heavy punishment before, but somehow always manages to find devastating ways to completely change the direction of fights. That is exactly what separates him from many heavyweights. Daniel Dubois might possess the power to seriously hurt him early, but if he cannot close the show, Wardley only grows more dangerous and more confident as time goes on. This truly feels like a collision between explosive power and relentless resilience, and Wardley's ability to survive difficult moments before striking back could ultimately decide everything.
Throughout there I can find who's available, who wants to scrap and get it on.
All your fights, bar one, all your wins bar one has been by knockout. That's kind of what you do, right? It's written on the tin, as they say. You expect to knock out Daniel Dubois. I mean, we've seen you go points, the draw with Fraser Clark, you can go deep in fights, but you expect to knock this man out.
Yeah, look, I've done it before. In terms of going the distance, it's something I know I've got in the locker, it's something I know I can do, but also, like you say, as a proven record, I knock people out. And whether that be first, second, third round, or 10, 11, 12, I carry that power all the way through. I carry that heart, determination and game all the way through. Every minute of every round, I'm in the fight. There's not a second of the fight where you think I'm down and out.
Duke McKenzie again emphasized the massive growth of Fabio Wardley after becoming champion. That added confidence and maturity could completely change the outcome of a fight this intense. Wardley is no longer simply depending on knockout power. He is becoming smarter, more technical, and much better at adjusting under pressure situations. His performance against Joseph Parker proved that he can survive difficult moments and still find solutions when fights become complicated. While Daniel Dubois's jab remains dangerous, Wardley's adaptability continues to stand out as a major weapon. If this becomes a technical contest, Wardley is improving rapidly. And if it becomes a brutal war, Wardley has already shown that he thrives in those situations and knows exactly how to close the show.
As the champion, you obviously have a say in this fight as well. Why did you want to go straight into this one after a defeat? Most people have an easier one after a defeat, just to kind of get back on the horse, so to speak. You've gone straight into what many consider the #2 heavyweight in the world. Why have you gone straight there?
I think it's perfect for me. This fight, you know, you ain't a southpaw or anything like that. This is the domestic scrap I need. This is, you know, juicy for me. You know, this is proper boxing now. Back
I'm
home.
coming out southpaw, so he's
gonna come out southpaw.
Ade Oladipo continued leaning toward Fabio Wardley because of his unbelievable knockout ability and his habit of changing fights in an instant. He admitted Wardley has gone through difficult moments and absorbed punishment in previous fights, but the key difference is that he always finds a way to respond under pressure. That resilience is exactly what makes him so dangerous against someone like Daniel Dubois. Dubois may possess enough power to hurt Wardley badly in the early rounds, but if he fails to finish him quickly, the momentum could slowly begin shifting in Wardley's favor. As the fight becomes deeper, tougher, and more exhausting, Wardley's confidence and ability to strike back become even more threatening.
I smile when I say that, where for me it's quite scary. Do you accept that this is going to be one of those painful fights?
Yeah, I think that's a given. Whether it be him, Joseph Parker, AJ, Fury, Usyk, whatever. At this level of the game, there's no easy rides no more. There's no comfy cruise through the win and have it nice and easy. Like, it's gonna be a scrap. And especially with the way we two go at it, yeah, there's gonna be a few cuts, a bit of blood, and all the rest to go with it.
You liking that?
Blood sport, yeah. I love it.
Why? Why do you love that danger to it?
Nah, this is you need to take chances if you want to be great. If you want to be great and do something, you know, to go down in history for, you need to take chances and risks, and this is what we are.
Duke McKenzie once again highlighted the dramatic evolution of Fabio Wardley since becoming champion. That extra belief, composure, and sharpness could end up making all the difference in a fight this emotional and intense. Wardley is no longer just a dangerous puncher looking for knockouts. He is transforming into a much more complete heavyweight capable of adjusting and finding answers during difficult moments inside the ring. Defeating Joseph Parker in the fashion he did proved he can survive pressure and still come out on top. Daniel Dubois's jab and physical strength remain major weapons, but Wardley's ability to adapt during fights gives him a very dangerous edge. If this turns into a technical boxing contest, Wardley is clearly improving rapidly.